This is AJ Kwong in Vancouver, Canada, and you have the distinct privilege of being included in Derek G's private listening club, Solid Air.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Solid Air, the place where we have some pretty magnificent guests in my home office studio. And I like to surprise you guys. We always have people from different walks of life. We have Jamie XX, Richard Russell, Jotty, Max Richter, and we have one more. In terms of ranking, maybe it's the third or fourth most famous MJ. Michael Jordan, I guess. Who else? Well, obviously Michael Jackson. I was thinking MJ from Spider-Man is a pretty good one as well. But I'd like to welcome to my office Jake, also known as MJ Lenderman.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Headphones. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. You've been in Australia for how long now?
4 or 5 days maybe.
How have you found it?
I love it here.
Why?
Well, we're kind of escaping winter at home right now, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
But on top of that, the people here are so sweet, and food's great. Shows have been great.
So this is a music show, and you brought some music for us today.
Yeah.
I thought I'd kick it off. This is a guy named Jack Adkins.
That's what we're hearing now?
Yeah.
Cool.
From the mid-'80s. One of those people that just dropped a record and disappeared type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Track's called American Sunset.
Is this like a Light in the Attic thing or something?
Probably, you know. It's got that kind of vibe to it, right?
Yeah.
We all know the needs. Watch the sun go down. We're lured to the
In
west.
terms of the music that you've brought, generally,
Watch our giver of life.
when you put this together, what were you thinking?
Just kind of,
melancholy.
thinking about what I've been listening to lately, and trying to get a nice range of music that I love and makes me happy to listen to.
I try not to
It's gonna go down.
look at your selections too much because I didn't listen to them because I don't want to know just yet.
For all to
But
see.
maybe we should play the first one. Maybe that's the easiest way.
Yeah, let's
Easiest.
do it.
So I've got it up for us. Tell me about it. I do not know this art, and it's not on streaming services, which is a great little start. I like it. I
this
like
is
it.
Greg Sage. He's
My son will
more well known for
hopefully the sun.
fronting the band
sun will be
Wipers, which are like a super influential punk
an
band.
American sunset.
But he's got a few solo records, and
That's awesome.
I just love them. Whenever I discovered they existed, I was really happy. It's got a similar energy to the Wipers stuff, but it's more like cowboy or something, like kind of sad or
1991.
yeah.
Okay. Cowboy. I feel that.
Well, I can't help it now. If our time's running out, do you still feel the same?
I feel like the reverb is very 90s.
Yeah, totally. I was talking with a friend recently about reverb, and the thing about it, I feel like maybe more than any other effect, it really dates the music.
So true. Like in the like Roy Orbison era, it's really reverby.
Yeah. And like, you know, people can take whatever, like it's probably a spring reverb or whatever he's using and try to get that same aesthetic now if they want. But yeah, you can really tell what decade something's made based on the reverb.
It kind of, you know, Crowded House?
Huh.
A New Zealand Australian group. You might have heard some of their songs, but it's similar kind of very strong in your face vocal reverb.
Yeah. Something about this also always makes me think about you ever see Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the movie?
No.
There's a scene where he stops at a biker bar, and I always feel like this this album in general always makes me think about that kind of like desert biker bar. And also I think the album cover helps too, because it's this weird clay animation.
It's very Dinosaur Jr. aesthetic, I feel. In a way.
Yeah, for sure. I know this music was huge influence on them
Oh,
too.
really?
And, it's not on this record, but there's a song called "On the Run" from Greg Sage's other solo album that Jay Mascis covers.
Oh, really? So there's a bit of a circularity
Yeah.
to it. Maybe I should, because I feel like because this is a show that we're kind of existing live in, we should at least play a bit of Crowded House to kind of close the loop. I'm sure you've heard, well, I don't know. This is their biggest song.
Okay.
There is freedom within, there is freedom without. Try to catch the deluge in a paper cup.
Reverby.
I hear what you're saying about the vocal.
There's a battle ahead, many battles are lost, but you never see the end of the road while you're traveling.
1986.
Hey now, hey
Oh, I know this song.
it's over. Hey now,
Surprisingly so ubiquitous that even Miley Cyrus and Ariana Grande have covered it together in a duet,
Oh wow.
which is kind of weird for them to cover this, but maybe it's a good segue into the track that I'm going to play you. But Neil Finn, who is the lead singer and songwriter in Crowded House, I would consider him and this other artist called Augie March to be what I would consider to be Australia's best melodicists. I guess like melody writers, I guess, because like for you as an artist, how are you like interacting with melody? Are you like, is it the most important thing for you? Is it fairly instinctual?
Yeah, I think it's pretty instinctual. Obviously, it's very important. But you know, I like repetition a lot as well. And yeah, I don't necessarily start with a melody or anything. I'll try to get lyrics or something and then see where they fit in, and then the melody will show up. But it, like, in that way, I guess, is more instinctual.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's like different styles. Like, I don't know if this is a fact, but like Paul McCartney is very much like get the melody and write the music around it.
Yeah, or like Elliott Smith or something. I've heard he does that
Yeah.
with you know, I love his guitar playing, and a lot of those seem to start with just like a single note melody, and then he builds the chords around them like that.
When I tried to write songs when I was young, I didn't know any of this and just tried to write songs by going go. And they were all terrible.
Well, it just takes some time.
So this is Augie March. So the way I describe Augie March is that if Radiohead didn't have electricity.
Whoa.
So this is like from 2001.
Okay.
They're like from country Victoria. the state which Melbourne is in. And so they were very much in the Radiohead era, but without all the synthesizers and sequencers and loopers and things.
What do the men say to the women when they lay down at night? All naked arms from the old imagined fire.
Crazy vocal melodies.
Now to the women here.
Sometimes when I think about artists and melodies, it's like some people, it's not all about that, but you know, these guys I think are really a beautiful example of that.
Yeah.
Who would you consider to be like, are there in your like music fandom people who write melodies that you think are particularly memorable, special to you?
Yeah. I mean, Greg Sage, who we were just listening to, and also Jay Mascis and Patterson Hood from the Drive-By Truckers. I really love what he does with vocal melodies, and yeah, I'm sure so many. I feel like a lot of it goes back to Neil Young too.
Well, yeah, Neil Young. Neil Young obviously is so many people's favorite artists, including mine. You've read his biography, right? I saw somewhere.
The Shaky, yeah.
Yeah. How is it? I haven't read it.
It's amazing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's super. I mean, if you're a nerd about that stuff like me, it's very in depth, and it seems like, I think that was written by Jimmy McDonough. He talked to pretty much everyone that Neil had ever met in his life.
Oh, really?
So there's so much information in there, and a lot of good info on like the recording of those albums too.
What is it about Neil Young to you? I'll tell you why for me, but what is it for you?
I think just the rawness of his music. Obviously, I mentioned loving his melodies, and there's so much emotion in his music. But the way he's able to pull it off with such a rawness, and nobody was really doing it that way.
I agree. For me, it's like it's a version of masculinity that's like very fragile. That like maybe I'll regret saying this, but I feel like especially men can relate to. It's like it feels quite tough, but it's actually quite tragic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
There's kind of a weakness behind it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? I did want to ask you, like, is there a Neil Young track that is particularly a favorite of yours?
I mean, it changes a lot. Recently, whenever I want to put them on, I'll listen to Separate Ways is the first track off of Homegrown.
Separate Ways. He's got so many tracks.
Yeah.
Including that Vocoder album.
Trans. Yeah. But this one is interesting. This record was recorded in the 70s. I think it was done around the same time as like On the Beach and Tonight's the Night, and this one was done in Nashville with a bunch of, I think, a similar crew to Harvest and stuff, and so he turned in Tonight's the Night, and they heard that, like, the label heard that one, and then they're like, you sure you want to put this one out? Levon Helm on drums on this one too. I think Rick Danko from the band on bass as well.
You really know all the names. I'm like,
thanks to Shaky.
Names to me. What does American music mean to you?
Whoa, that's a good question. What do you mean?
Well, I feel like your music and your taste is rooted in, I don't want to say Americana, but
Yeah.
just like researching into like music that you like and influences. I feel like there's a, and maybe it's where you're from, maybe who you grew up around. There's a real sense for me of an Americanness in a really, not, I was gonna say in a positive sense, not that I mean in any other way, but it's like there's a lineage from Neil Young and prior and Neil Young after that flows through your music and your taste, and so like
Totally, yeah. I think a lot of the music that's meant a lot to me, you can kind of trace back to him. And I remember when I first was getting into his music, like starting to appreciate the country side of things. And I'm from North Carolina. It's in the southeastern United States, and something about the country sounds and like all that just resonated, and it felt like myself when I'm listening to it, which is ironic because he's Canadian.
I forget that so much.
Yeah,
Joni Mitchell, Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
There's like,
and
I just,
most of the band too.
oh really?
Yeah, but they do. Levon Helm is from Arkansas, so we have him. But
It's funny that I ask you about American music and we listen to Neil Young, who's Canadian.
yeah,
But you caught
Continent.
my drift.
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Let me put on, as this one ends, let me put on my favorite Neil Young song. This one.
I like that one you got under there too.
Yeah, that's my second favorite song.
Best harmonica sound of all time.
Really? Do you know this one?
No, what album is this?
It's like a live thing. Songs for Judy is the live record. Came out a few years ago.
It's not as bad as some things I've seen.
Do you have his MP3 player?
The Pono.
The Pono.
Well,
I want one.
no, and also lossless audio. That's the point of it.
And triangular.
But it's so awkward. It looks like a Toblerone bar. I don't think I would ever want to carry that in my pocket. But I've gotten to listen to one before.
Really?
I had a
I haven't.
professor in college who had one of those.
No way. It's super nerdy. I was looking it up last week, and you can get, I think you can get a Tom Waits special edition, a Metallica special edition. It's like music nerd. It's like $1,000 for one now.
Yeah, he was really working hard to make that work.
In a sense, it's like the ultimate music nerd product. I want it just because it's like Neil Young's MP3 player.
Yeah, just seemed like they couldn't really keep up with how much technology was changing while they were trying to design that.
Apple, Neil Young.
Yeah.
You know. Tell me, we've got another song that you've brought.
Let's do the Yola Tango one.
Okay. So Yola Tango, do you want to preamble? Do you want to tell us why?
Sure, yeah. I mean, this song I put on pretty much every day,
Wow.
at least once a day at this point. It's kind of like a nice meditation, obviously. It's called Om, and it's, one chord the entire time, and I love the lyrics a lot right now. They seem to be, very timely.
Timely.
At least in the States.
Which therefore is the world, how it impacts anyone. You did say you wanted to look around if you want to. Well, we can turn the mics off for a little if you wanted to have a look.
Oh, yeah.
So as we are listening to Yola Tango, Jake's been looking through my CD collection and was talking about being really into Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, which was also done by this photographer, which I was talking to Jake about, Storm Thorgerson. You're saying the sound?
Yeah, it's one of those songs that's so like ubiquitous, and it's not something I ever think to put on. But a friend of mine, I was at his studio, and he was like, "Have you ever actually listened to the like original recording?"
Oh, really? And you hadn't?
And I had, but not that intentionally. And the recording is just so amazing.
We'll play a little bit. I know we're going off piste a little bit, but that's kind of the point. What do you want to put on?
Title track, Wish You Were Here.
Track 9. Gilmore Waters, of course. I don't know if it's because you're sitting here, but it's got more of a twang to it.
Yeah, definitely. Tom York and Sparkle Horse covered this together too.
Oh, did they?
On some EP, some Sparkle Horse EP.
So you think you could tell
I wonder if I can find it in here.
heaven from hell?
There's a whole like Pink Floyd
Blue
section.
skies from pain. Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail? A smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to train? You're here.
And then Muse as well. He did Muse as well.
Okay.
Which is like, it shows how far the era was. Led Zeppelin, what Led Zeppelin
Yeah, that's
records.
covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
kind of what you want to be, right? Like as an artist, anyway. Peter Gabriel. Anyway, it's a visual show, so let's play something else you brought.
Yeah, this is a huge vibe shift over here.
Oh, really? Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. So what is it?
Lorales, Denude.
Okay.
They're a Japanese band from the
15 minutes. I'm gonna press play now.
from the 70s,
Yep.
60s. This is 77.
Okay.
But pretty enigmatic. Doomy psych band.
Not on streaming services. Do you remember how we came across it?
I think there are just some cool people in Asheville, where I'm from, and either talking about them or something like that.
Cool people in Asheville.
But when I was like kind of during COVID, I would listen to this record like every day.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, when you get like 12, 15 minutes into this, it's
You just
very hypnotic.
on the moon.
Yeah.
Do you think about eras with your own music? Like, do you think like, all right, I'm gonna go like do me psych at some point?
Yeah, I definitely have thoughts like that for sure. I don't know if I have the guts to pull it off yet, but maybe someday. But yeah, I do think about that. It's nice to feel inspired and excited to try out new lanes.
I think it's funny, I have to modulate how I talk because like if you weren't here I talk about like artists in a certain way, but you're in the room, so I'm like, maybe I'm not speaking to everyone, but I think it's a really cool thing when artists are like, fuck it, I'm doing Trans by Neil Young.
Yeah.
Because it's scary, I think.
It is,
right?
and as long as what you're doing is you know, coming from a real place, and you know, you're not doing it because it's a cool thing to do at the time. It's because you want to do it, and because you're inspired. And, you know, that's important. I feel like I gravitate towards artists like Neil, who try those things and aren't really afraid.
Yeah.
But you can tell they're doing it because it's what they want to be doing.
I often think about like when one critiques an artist that's like current, and how like it's so hard to tell if it's how much meaning it will have, because like Neil Young did lots of folky rock stuff for a long time, and then he did his like trans stuff. We didn't live through the time where people were probably like, what the fuck is trans, this is shit.
Yeah.
And then I pick it up and I'm like, this is amazing.
Right. Yeah, I mean that stuff stands the test of time, like, you know, Dylan going electric, all that, that kind of stuff. It's funny to think about that being a controversial thing.
This song is in a similar vein. This is a group called the April Fool. Don't know if you know them.
No, where are they from?
Japan. Also psych. So two of these artists formed the group Happy End, and then one of those artists went on to be part of Yellow Magic Orchestra.
Oh, cool.
I want to say this is late 60s.
I just played in Japan at the beginning of the year, January.
Well, how was it for you?
It was great. This most recent time, I was only there for like 5 days.
Yeah.
So it was pretty quick.
First time there?
Actually, the second. Last time we came through Australia, we ended the tour there and spent like a week and a half. But also went to some record bars. My favorite, there's one called Galaxy 500.
Okay.
In Kyoto. Named after the band Galaxy 500, and it was all
I don't know.
indie rock and punk CDs.
Oh, really?
It's really cool.
That's what I love. That's what, like, I guess why people like love the idea of like Japanese culture, the like obsession over it. Just like, it's just this. This is all it is.
Smoking inside.
Yep, true. I went to a classical listening bar, and it stunk like everything was baked in with cigarette smoke. What would be your record bar? Like, what would be the theme?
That's a good question. I mean, I struggle with the idea of a theme like that. I think it would be more of like, you know, just whatever records I have at home. Maybe start there and.
Jake's bar.
Yeah, Jake's. Well, my radio show I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I used to have a show called Lenny's Basement.
Can it be found on the internet if people go look?
There's a chance there's archive
Ooh.
material on.
Lenny's Basement.
Yeah, it was on Asheville FM, the community station there. So it might still be up on the internet. We'll see.
I love that. So it's your turn for a song, and I've brought it up, and I'm very excited that you've brought this with you, because I actually have a story about this artist in Japan. But please tell us about this.
I first kind of got into Swamp Dogg because I love the country musician Johnny Paycheck.
Okay.
And Swamp Dogg wrote Johnny Paycheck's hit She's All I Got.
Right.
And so I started listening to Swamp's music, and this is a more recent one, I think produced by Ryan Olson. It's like a Minneapolis guy, but the production is so crazy and out there.
Do you? Because I don't know. I only know like one song that I'm obsessed with. Do you know like what's the deal with Swamp Dogg? Like, it's like an older dude, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Was he like? Did he come to fame later, or is he just still putting out music?
So he had a huge, I think like explosion of, fame and money and stuff, and maybe in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then now he lives out in California, Southern California somewhere, and he's in a house with a couple of his boys, like his bandmates, and this album art is from his backyard, his swimming pool back there.
It's like an empty swimming pool, right?
Yeah, because they were painting the inside of it. But yeah, it seems like he's having a good time making a lot of music still.
I think his website, when I looked it up once, it was like the original D-O-double-G or something like that.
Oh, my love, just what sins have I been guilty of? Tell me how I came to lose your love. Please answer me, my love.
That's crazy. What is that?
You were mine yesterday. I believe that love was here to stay. Won't you tell me?
Is that the
where
same?
I've gone
That's all one song. I'm like,
Yeah.
am I playing something else at the same time?
I was telling you, it's crazy production.
If you're happier without me.
I believe it's Ryan Olsen.
Who's Ryan Olsen?
Fact check it, but he's one of the produced this record, I think. And his style, he chops up all these sounds and
Yeah, right.
You must know I've been true. Won't you
Mannings Fireworks right here.
yeah.
Which I got Jake to sign, thank you. I was curious and I googled it. Doesn't mean it's not out there, but who are these people? Who are these people? Has this been explained before?
I don't think so.
Like, I was like, surely someone's explained it, but
They're friends of ours.
really? Tell me.
This is so it was painted by my friend Matt Reed. He's on Instagram. It's TV Beaches.
TV Beaches.
So be sure to follow him. Great painter. But this is our friend Zach. This is our friend Jono. And then this is my friend's cousin.
Okay.
But
So not your friend.
No, I actually have never met him.
Why?
Why
are
these
they
guys?
why are they on here?
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to ask Matt. I think he just has a good eye. These were all taken from separate photos.
Yeah.
And he has a very specific, perspective of, he farms the internet, like Facebook and stuff. He'll look at like, the page for like a local fire department or something and see what kind of photos they're posting in there and that kind of stuff, or like little bars, and that's a lot of where he gets his aesthetic from.
Yeah, wow. Did you go make me something? And
Yeah,
you
I
painted
didn't
this?
really tell him what to do.
And this was it? This was what came back?
Yeah, he sent me some ideas, and so we ran with that one.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I trust him a lot, and he's a close friend of mine.
What's this?
That's the fireworks,
Oh, of course.
the flame.
Am I asking too deep? Like, what was the brief there for? I want to show some dudes and some fireworks.
I didn't even say that. No, I just I sent him the songs, and
Okay.
and that's what happened. I think the only thing I really told him was that I wanted it to be green. I saw
Why?
I just felt green in the record. I don't know why.
That's interesting. I find that sort of stuff really interesting because I guess obviously the album has really resonated with people, and it wasn't released that long ago, and there is some sort of symbiosis or relationship between like the visual and the music too. I feel like albums often that resonate generally have memorable album covers.
Yeah, for sure. I love album covers. And like it's a very important part of it for me too, and so it means a lot to me that somebody I'm close with is involved with it, and Matt is his sense of humor and his art in general has just been a big inspiration on my music and writing and everything. So I think that's why it made sense, and he's made a lot of art for me in the past too.
And the green
thing.
What?
That's just a feeling, I guess.
I feel like you say it's green, and it really does feel green,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm usually good with words, but I'm like, yeah, it's green. It's green. Yeah, it is, but it also is in here too. I just liberally put on your next song.
Pharaoh Sanders.
Love is here. There's 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Is jazz a big thing for you? Or do you listen to it during certain times in life?
Yeah, I've had some moments with it. I gravitate more towards this kind of jazz. But my great grandfather was actually a bebop musician. Yeah. His name is Charlie
so cool.
Ventura.
Charlie Ventura.
So he was a bebop guy.
Like known, like credits and things. Like if we look him up.
Yeah. He played with like Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich at times. And we have a picture of him playing with Charlie Parker.
Lineage.
Yeah, I never met him, and I haven't necessarily really gotten into bebop music in general. It's a little fast for me.
I'll tell you how I got into bebop, which I think you'd appreciate. I went to a Basquiat exhibition at the Barbican, maybe in 2018, and Basquiat, he was like combining his love for bebop with like anatomical drawings and like skulls and things with like graffiti and things, and I saw his visuals, which is not dissimilar to your album art, and I got it. There was something about like the pace of it and the kind of like aggression of it that I was like, I get it now, and I like it. And maybe it's because I saw it in like a kind of 90s New York setting that I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I hope that it finds you one day.
Yeah, I'm sure it will someday.
Alright, so maybe you saw what I'm about to put on.
Yeah.
Prince.
I mean, as far as I know, I might be wrong about this, but this record is Prince, and he'd be, I don't know, maybe this is like 3 a.m. or something. He calls his engineer, like, get over here. I just want to bang out some ideas on the piano, and it's just him playing by himself.
The record's called Piano and a Microphone.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
But there's so much power and like groove behind.
Do you know this song? You will once you hear it.
Yeah. 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 When
Come on.
when we were recording the Waxahachie album, Phil Cook, the pianist, put this on in the studio one night.
Really?
And I was blown away.
Because it's obviously it's a minimal side of Prince, but it's still got all of that Princiness to it.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, how do you prefer, like MJ Lenderman, Jake? It's your name.
Jake's
after
good.
all,
Yeah,
right?
that's what my friends call me. I've always been called Jake my entire life. My dad's name is also Mark,
right.
which is what the M stands for.
Uh-huh.
So I've always been called by my middle name.
Got it. I didn't ask when we met, but on emails everyone referred to you as Jake, so I'm like, okay, so I don't call him MJ Lenderman.
Yeah, that's all good.
I feel like we've gotten to the end of the show, so we have one more song from you.
Oh, great.
Tell me about it.
This is Skeeter Davis fronting NRBQ. I've just been obsessed with this song lately. Another one of those I put on almost every day.
Seems to be a playlist that you it's these tracks,
Yeah,
which I love.
This whole record's really amazing. We opened for Yola Tango. They do 8 nights of Hanukkah, and the same night we opened for them, the bassist from NRBQ also sat in with them. So I started going back through their catalog, and
Yeah, right.
this record, a friend had sent me a long time ago, and I never got around to really listening to it.
Ooh.
This vocal harmony here is so good.
This is the perfect ending song. The harmony's kind of weird in a beautiful way.
Yeah, I never think about putting one lower, you know.
Yeah, Well, it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
It's really nice to get inside someone's head about how their ears work and what they listen to. And I remember when I first came across you, it's like, it's familiar, but it's different, you know? And there's a lot of soul to what you do. And I think what I love most is the simplicity of what you do.
Thank you.
I think it's really like refined, but not in a like clinical way.
Yeah.
It's like, you just say enough, you know? Which is really cool.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming on the show.